15 minutes before I was to be picked up by a Jeep, I was discovered to have a temperature of 106.5, and instead of waiting for the Jeep, the captain in charge of the ward sent me over to X-ray, and the last thing I remember was the captain in charge of the X-ray asking if I thought I could stand up long enough for them to get up to my chest. And I remember hearing that X-ray making that peculiar whirring sound, and then the click, and I'm told that I collapsed in a heap. And I could see the soldiers and the nurses and the doctors, but they could not see me. And I went from ward to ward, bed to bed, trying to find a soldier that I thought that looked like me lying in the bed. I was becoming more and more desperate because, as I say, I could see these human beings, but I could not communicate with them. Finally, I went into this little isolated ward room. And sure enough, lying in the bed with the sheet pulled up over the head was this body that I had to recognize as it had my fraternity ring on its fingers. I had left that room, went as far as Vicksburg, Mississippi. So a man getting ready to go into a white all-night cafe there on the corner of the street there in Vicksburg, and asked him if he could tell me if I was going in the right direction to get to Richmond. And this man acted the same way that a ward boy had in the corridor that I passed as I was going out of the hospital, like he could neither see me nor hear me. Actually, I walked right through the ward boy going out. But I was so determined to get back to Richmond that never even stopped me. And when this guy couldn't see me, then I realized that there was a vast change. Something was wrong, that these people could neither see nor hear me. The way that I know that it was Vicksburg, Mississippi, because 10 months after this experience, I came back through Vicksburg and recognized the white all-night cafe on the corner. Time and distance, as you and I comprehended in this room, simply does not exist, because simply by wanting to be heading back towards Richmond, apparently I was. The hospital wall virtually disappeared, and I saw every minute detail of my life, seeing my own cesarean section birth through the 20 years that I had lived, because I was only 20 at the time. That light stepped the most amazing being I have ever been in the presence of. Is that life is forever. Death is nothing more or less than a doorway, something you walk through.
Before I shot myself, I measured like we did in CPR to find where the heart was, and that's where I just took the barrel and put it up against my chest and pulled the trigger. And suddenly there was commotion beneath me, and then I started noticing all of the people underneath me, and the EMS workers were pushing the stretcher down the hall. And I really wasn't concerned with my body. I was more concerned with, there were a couple of plainclothes policemen over where the guns were, and one of them was wrong about something, and I was trying to tell him that he was wrong. At Disney World, they have this Kodak ride where you sit in this seat and you go, there's this movie that surrounds you, and it makes you feel like you're a part of the action, and you can even get butterflies when there's a big drop or something. So it was around me in a form to where it was like I was participating, but it was participating in the mind or in thought, but it just seemed like a lifetime of pain happened in just a short period of time. I realized I was out of my body when I was suddenly looking at this light. It was just total selflessness, understanding, kindness, all-consuming love, wonderful love. how to love other people and how to forgive and to put yourself in the place of other people in order to understand them. And that's something that you have to do in order to love people and in order to love yourself. Because if you hold grudges and you, it hurts you and it hurts the other people. And it's a barrier to love if you can't forgive. You don't necessarily have to forget when people hurt you, but you have to understand them and forgive them. And I think that that's the most important thing about love that I've learned, and how to look at how we're alike rather than how we're different.